are now entering the 7th and final week of the Omer, the week of Malchut. Malchut, which is kingship, is really when everything comes down to our world. Up till now, so many of these ideas of the Sfirat, they're very lofty. They're all about this divine energy coming down. But this is the week it actually lands. It actually hits. And Malchut is a funny one. It's just, it's associated with King David, and Malchut makes kingship, so you'd think it's this great, big, grandiose ideas. Yet actually, so much of the energy of Malchut is about lowliness and humility. It seems like a paradox. Kingship is so great, so why is the energy humility? And the way we resolve this contradiction is to say that what it has to do with is saying that you've been given certain responsibilities in your life. Those responsibilities become your areas of dominion, your areas of kingship that you kind of rule over to a certain degree. But it's not that you elevate yourself above them and you rule with a big haughty hand. It's you have to understand that no, something's been given to you and you need to step up and care for that thing to the best of your ability. I think about having a child as such a perfect example about this. When you are given a child, we become a parent. That is a gigantic responsibility. I look at my son when he was first born, and it's like, I didn't have the capacity to create this thing. From what I did there, I don't know how to build a child. It felt like such an incredible divine gift and such a huge responsibility, because here's this life that I suddenly now have to take care of and look after. And I felt just very small relative to the greatness of the task that I was given to look after this child. And so many times over these past 14 years, I've beaten myself up for not being as strong of a parent as I could have been, for not being there for my son, for not guiding him as well as I could have in a certain situation. So if you look at it like me versus my son, okay, I might be much bigger. I might be the one who makes the rules in the family, and so you might have a tendency to get arrogant, to think big thoughts about yourself. But when I look at it instead as God tasked me with looking after this holy soul that He's put in my care, suddenly we can understand this contradiction of Malchut being both this grandiose kingship idea and also being with humility. That I might be this elevated person vis-a-vis this little baby that I was given. But given the giantness of the responsibility that I've been given, I feel incredibly small. And I feel like I need to do whatever I can to look after this child, to try to live up to this huge responsibility. That's why they say that Moses was the most humble man to ever exist. It's like, humble? He led millions of people. How could he possibly have been the leader? He commanded the ground to open up its mouth and swallow up Korach for standing up against him. How could that be together with humility? Wasn't he this great grand figure? Yes, vis-a-vis the people he led. But vis-a-vis God, he felt humbled by the giantness of this task that he was given, and realized that, wow, who am I to carry out this incredible responsibility of taking God's people out of slavery and bringing them to freedom? So when you understand that so many of the realms you have in your life, whether it's in your work, whether it's in your family, that these are just huge responsibilities that you have been given, and that you need to humble yourself as much as possible to really deliver for these people under your charge. That's kind of the essence of Malchut and what we're going to be exploring all this week.